This is a minecart. Incredible, I know. For most players, the only time you think about these things is when you find one of those pre-generated underground tracks. You then get to have fun for like 5 seconds before Terraria decides that you're done and dunks you in lava. There's more to it though. They're a helpful tool for getting around. If you put in the time, you can make a complex railway and travel across your entire world with ease. Most of this is common knowledge, but did you know that there's over 27 of them to choose from? Yeah, I remember back in the days of 1.3 where you only had a selection of 3 different carts. Now there's over 24 options, all with different aesthetics and abilities to choose from. Somebody should really rank them. Minecarts are items that don't occupy any space in your loadout. Much like grappling hooks and mounts, they have their own dedicated equipment slot. Even if the slot is empty, your character by default has a weaker wooden minecart. While riding one, your movement is restricted to rails. You can jump around and get some airtime, but landing on solid ground will kick you out. Aside from that, you are still completely actionable inside a cart. You can build, swing a sword, and most crucially, go fishing. A very important thing to know about minecarts is even without a weapon, you aren't defenseless. Vehicular manslaughter is a great Terrarian pastime. You may take some damage yourself, but believe me when I say that the skeleton you just hit, yeah, he's having a significantly worse day. No matter what minecart you decide to use, you are completely reliant on rails, so it's a good idea to be familiar with the different types. Standard rails are incredibly abundant in underground caves. Each stretch of track can potentially have hundreds of rails to harvest, but if you find yourself needing more, you can make them for incredibly cheap. Like platforms, you can place them horizontally or at an angle for some height. Rails also have increased building range than most other items, a nice convenience for builders or the crazed maniac building tracks on the fly. Standard tracks also have 3 different modes that you can switch between by hitting them with a hammer. Normally, tracks end with a gate that will completely halt your momentum. You can remove this and make an empty track, which will help you catch some sick airtime. The funniest one though is the bumper track. When hit, it'll send you at the same speed in the opposite direction. Fantastic for roller coasters or being really annoying. There's a couple of special rail types that need some extra materials to make. The pressure plate works exactly how you'd expect. It's perfect for setting traps and other wiring shenanigans. Lastly, there are booster tracks, which are bought from the mechanic. Running over them will give you a massive burst of speed in the direction they point. This can help with reaching max speed quickly, but isn't super duper necessary. Your character can reach top speed by themselves. You will also maintain full speed regardless of ride time or the slope of the track, unlike some other block game that heavily features minecarts.
Open Minecraft for the first time in years for this clip. Not at all worth it. Wait, what? Oh my!
Before we get to the main event, there's a few other bonus tricks that you can do with rails, most of which don't even require a minecart. Tracks can act as pseudo-platforms. Players and enemies can't stand on them, but you can grapple onto them. This completely resets your wing time or your double jumps, so a line of rails can be treated almost like a little flight recharge station. But let's say you don't have a hook for some reason. Minecarts still have your back. Trying to mount a cart while a little bit too far away from the rails will materialize a hook out of thin air. It's a nice quality of life feature, and because Terraria is held together by duct tape and broken dreams, of course you can find a way to clip through walls with it. Enough about rails and such. Let's get back to the star of the show, minecarts. As stated before, there are 27 variants. Each will get you from point A to point B, but I want to know which one will do it best. Do they have some other benefits? Will you be doing it in style? It's a lot of different factors to consider. So, I made a convenient ranking in the form of a catchy acronym that'll help quantify fields that minecarts excel in. Rapid. What's its top speed? And can it move quickly, regardless of situation? Accessibility. How easy is it to get your hands on? Do you have to break your back grinding for it? Innovation. What does the minecart do to stand out? Practical or not, what powers and gimmicks does it have? Looks. Vanity is the most important stat in the game. How beautiful looking is the minecart? These factors cover what the average player will care about, and by combining them all, we get the incredibly dignified rail rating. In hindsight, I probably should have called it literally anything else. The rail ranking! Each minecart will be given a score from 1 to 5 in each of these metrics. The higher it scores, the better it is. If your favorite minecart doesn't score well, I'm sorry? This is a ranking video, so of course everything I say is objectively correct and you're wrong. Good old reliable. It's not exactly a looker and doesn't do anything special. Even if minecarts aren't your thing, the wooden minecart always has your back. Probably the most direct upgrade to the wooden minecart. Cheap to acquire and is the baseline for speed for all other minecarts. Any other cart that shares a 3 in the rapid score moves identically to it. Otherwise, it doesn't do anything unique. This used to be the best minecart in the game. It came with an armor boost and lasers, but it has since been stripped of these abilities. As for what happened to them, we'll talk about those later. What we're left with though is a somewhat ugly post-mech boss minecart with no additional perks. Assuming you're able to survive more than 2 seconds in the underground desert, this is a great looking minecart and a nice addition to your travels. It might look like a fancy wash basin, but hey, I think it's a statement. Honestly, a fantastic minecart. It actually ends up scoring better in speed than other carts due to its ability to prevent slowdown in water. The minecart is a fishing quest reward, so you are at the mercy of this guy to get it, but it might be one of the most practical options. Keep a pin in this one for later. Because Terraria didn't have enough bee-related items already. It is a very adorable minecart though, with this little wing flapping animation. It might even be worth risking your life in the underground jungle. This is an option for baby's first minecart. It's found inside giant trees, and you'll probably stumble across one while looking for the finch staff. It does nothing special, and the art doesn't really fit Terraria's style. I'm not a fan. See above. Identical to the ladybug, except this one looks better. It's going to be pretty hard to defend a minecart you could only get in hard mode, even less so from a rare-ish enemy. If you get lucky enough to find a pigron statue early on, I guess you could wire it up and farm them, except no, I lied! Statue spawned enemies can't drop the minecart. It's a big waste of time. The pigron's cart only saving grace is that it's pink, and pink is cool. Okay, now we've got something good to talk about here. The demonic hellcart gives you an immunity to lava, and considering how many underground tracks tend to take a nosedive right into a spicy pool, that's pretty useful. It also gives a tiny bit of light, which is always nice. If for whatever reason, you need to guard your minecart tracks from enemies or snooping players, flooding your tracks and using this cart should keep you safe. Funky minecart that glows in the dark. Could be nice for underground exploring. Plus, it just looks funny. The only difference between all these carts is the flavor of gem you use to make them. They are otherwise identical to each other. The gem carts do admittedly look nice and have this sparkle effect. Great if you like flaunting your immense wealth, or rather, showing everybody that you wasted your time getting gems for a minecart instead of a magic staff or a cool necklace or a grappling hook. Ugh, this one is horrid. This is a post-golem minecart that you can make out of beetle shells. I mean, if you don't plan on making some of the best armor in the game, you can make this hunk of junk. Do better next time. Probably the minecart that takes the most amount of effort to get, seeing as you get it from the Moon Lord. The game's already over at that point, so why bother? Answer: cat. This cart emits a rainbow trail and also meows non-stop. Absolutely worth it. Very similar to the Meow Mirror cart, except you get this one much earlier from the party girl. It also leaves a colorful trail and has some pretty cool animated balloons. Sadly, these balloons are a lie and you can't double jump with them, but hey, they can't all be winners. Well, first of all, I'm deducting points. This boat can't even float on water. I know it looks like a kitchen sink, but come on, this is ridiculous. I'm so funny. I mean, that's to be expected. The Dutchman is a bit underwhelming. It has this neat flag animation, but it's also really annoying to acquire. Can't recommend. The steampunk minecart is notable for one thing. It's a train. Does it act like one? Oh no, don't get your hopes up, but I'm a sucker for the steampunk aesthetic. While in use, this cart emits a neat looking smoke trail, and weirdly enough, it can be dyed. This one is just weird. The coffin minecart is exclusive to the graveyard biome. Being in the presence of tombstones and graves unlocks the recipe, and it's barely more expensive than the standard minecart. The coffin has no gimmicks or features that make it stand out, but it looks really nice and comfy, I think? Maybe? Where do we even begin? The mole cart is undeniably the most unique minecart on the list, despite it being the slowest of them all. it might be a grind to get, since the Duologist only sells it after filling up at least 35% of the bestiary. If you are a little rail freak though, the Minecart will be your best friend. Underground, it can dig through tiles, and if you have minecart tracks on you, will automatically place them ahead of you too. Amazing for gathering materials and creating tunnels to make future travel much easier. Without much effort too, you can create gaps in tunnels that contain world evils. A silly little mole is stronger than the entire corruption. The mole cart is quite an investment, but it can end up saving you a lot of time in the long run. And now on the opposite side of the spectrum of usefulness, we have the fart cart. It is unnecessarily detailed, and whenever you hit a bumper track, will let out a big fart. Its biggest sin is that in order to make it, you need a whoopee cushion. This rare drop can be used to make the infinitely better fart in a jar, a powerful double jump item. And also, like, if you're only after the fart sounds, the jar literally just lets you do it on command, anywhere? This minecart is shit. On the other hand, the Terra Fart Kart is the best worst minecart in the game. As expected, it uses the coveted Terra toilet in its crafting recipe. The Terra Fart Kart inherits all of the stinky features of the standard fart cart with added particle effects to really showcase its power. Is it worth it? I don't know. Remember, you're giving up a Terra blade for this. I'll leave this one up to you. Well, that's every minecart. This list was a little too boring though. Too many minecarts were underwhelming. Here's how we fixed that. Lasers. The mechanical upgrade kit is an expert mode item. Each mechanical boss will drop one piece of the item. Using the item applies a permanent upgrade to any minecart you use, and you can toggle it with this little helpful button up here. The upgrade kit will take any old minecart and almost double its maximum speed. It's probably one of the fastest ways to travel in this game. Oh, and if you run into the enemy at high speeds, then the boring answer would be to say that every minecart is the best minecart because of the upgrade kit. That's lame though. If I had to choose just one cart to be the best, the minecart, sure. Every other minecart just has a cosmetic change, but the fish has an active effect that makes traveling through water and liquid significantly easier. And as you may know, water is everywhere in the world. A runner-up would be the demonic hell cart because of its lava resistance feature. At the end of the day though, the fish wins. Behold, your new overlord.